You? Is anybody?
There she is. That's Molly Goldberg, folks. A woman with a place in every heart and a finger in every pie. And now the makers of New Does, that new kind of soap for everything right down your wash line, bring you another visit with those good folks, the Goldbergs.
Here's the place. Bring them in here.
Well, say, why bring in those clothes baskets? This is a radio studio, not a laundry.
But I'm only trying to help.
Help?
Why, yes. Didn't you say some ladies don't believe does everything in the wash?
Oh, but once they try Does, they'll find it's a new kind of granulated soap. You see, Does is not just an improvement of an old soap. It's Procter & Gamble's new soap discovery, and it does all three kinds of wash. Work shirts, towels, to rayon slips.
Well, I thought if you just tell the ladies what does for my wash, they'll know it can do their wash, too.
What's different about yours?
Well, now first, take these work shirts here.
Mm-hmm.
You see how really clean does them?
Swell.
And you know, my husband works in a war plant now and gets his shirts terribly greasy.
Mm-hmm.
But does saves me from all hard scrubbing.
Well, I've been telling the ladies no soap made gets work clothes clean easier than Does.
Oh, and don't forget my towels. They get dirtier now, too, with all that tool grease my husband gets on his hands.
Well, haven't I said Does will get the dirtiest towels snowy white?
That's old stuff. Tell 'em even with extra wartime dirt, does get some really sparkling white. Well, just look at these linens. Now, have you ever seen a whiter wash?
Say, they're dazzling, all right.
And yet see these nicer colored washables, these pretty rayon slips and things.
Please, remember where you are.
Well, really, I'm only showing you what extra care does gives those precious colors. You know, this extra safety helps those clothes to last longer in wartime.
Oh, sure. Does is safer for those colors than the four other leading granulated soaps.
Put it stronger. Tell 'em now they need new Does more than ever.
Okay. Now's the time to change to new Does, D-U-Z. Better get the giant size box. It saves money. Remember, even in the toughest wartime wash, Does does everything. And now the Goldbergs. Molly Goldberg has become the Pied Piper of Lastenbury, for she has turned her home into a nursery in order to take care of the children of mothers working in defense plants. And with the noise and sound of laughter around, Jake Goldberg is beginning to feel that his home doesn't belong to him. Trouble is brewing, and here it comes. Listen.
Molly, I'm here and I'm home.
I'm coming, dear. I'm coming. I was just washing my face, dear.
Am I coming home every night with my house topsy-turvy?
The children just left a few minutes ago, Jake. I didn't know you was coming home so early. I'll pick up everything.
Molly, this is already too much.
But, Jake, you said...
When you said you would take two children, the neighbor's children, I had nothing to object to. But when you had undertaken the whole village...
But, Jake, that...
You're not the Pied Piper of Lastenbury.
But, Jake...
No buts. I don't like to come home to a kindergarten.
But, Jake...
No buts. Arrange something and arrange something soon. Too much is too much.
Jake, darling...
Period. I said it. Do you think I can find my slippers?
Nobody goes upstairs. I'll take the phone.
Call up all the mothers, Molly.
All the mothers. A new beginning to a starting. Hello? Yes? Yes, Mrs. Trowbridge. That's all right, darling. She got home well and safely? Uh-huh. Well, I'm glad. She's a wonderful child. Not at all. I'm glad to do it, dear. Very glad. I was calling Minerva, so she said, Mrs. Goldberg, don't call me Minerva, call me Minnie. My mother calls me Minnie. Yeah, very cute. Huh? They was playing, and then, did you see the dress a little bit stained? She spilled the cocoa. Yeah, she drank a half a cup, and she spilled a half a cup. Wonderful. Huh? I found her hair ribbon. One ribbon was on her hair, one ribbon I found. I got it. I'll give it to her tomorrow. She'll bring it home. But don't mention it. I'm glad to do it. A pleasure. Yeah. Rosalie? Yeah.
I want to show you something.
1 minute, Rosalie.
In the paper,
Yeah.
Ma.
All right, Mrs. Silber.
Hang up, Ma.
That's all
Ma,
right.
look.
All right, dear.
Say goodbye, Ma.
Yeah, she's thanking me and thanking me. Don't
Ma,
mention it.
Mrs. Goldberg, one of our own townspeople.
Yeah, I will,
has-
dear.
Ma.
Goodbye, dear.
Ma.
Yeah.
Ma, Mrs. Goldberg.
Wait, that's all right. That's all right, dear.
Ma.
Don't mention it.
So many thank yous.
All right, dear. Goodbye. Goodbye. What,
Ma,
Ma?
Ma, a whole column in the paper
Yeah?
all about you.
Huh?
Look.
What?
A whole column in the paper about you, Ma.
Me?
Uh-huh.
Oh, mine, what paper?
In the Lastenbury News.
Oh, Lastenbury News.
Uh-huh.
Wait, Rosalie, about me?
Uh-huh.
Oh, so let me hear quietly and quickly.
Oh, why quickly, Ma?
Because Papa's not in the mood. Papa's not in the mood. He's saying already kindergarten.
Why?
He don't want to come home to the house topsy-turvy. So let me hear, well.
Mrs. Goldberg,
Yeah?
one of our townspeople, has
Yeah?
done by herself what usually takes a whole community and 2 years of planning to accomplish. Instead of talking about it, she just gathered up the children of working parents and made her own little nursery school.
Yeah?
She's a good neighbor, and we're proud to have her in our village and proud to offer all our help.
I want to hear it all over again.
From the beginning, Ma?
I want to hear all over again.
Mrs. Goldberg.
Slowly.
Huh?
Mrs. Goldberg, Mrs.
Mrs.
Molly
Goldberg.
Goldberg.
No, Mrs.
Mrs.
Goldberg. It
Goldberg.
says Mrs. Jacob Goldberg up on
Mrs.
top.
Yeah, let me hear. Quiet.
Mrs. Goldberg, one
Yeah.
of our townspeople, has done by herself
But
What?
I've been done by myself. I don't understand.
all alone, all by herself.
Done by myself, all alone.
What usually takes a whole community and 2 years of planning to accomplish.
Huh.
Instead of talking about it, she just gathered up the children of working parents and made her own little nursery school. She's a good neighbor, and we're proud to have her in our village and proud to offer all our help. Now, listen to this, Mom.
Yeah.
A salute to a good soldier,
Soldier.
a good neighbor, and a great woman.
Great woman.
Isn't that wonderful,
Oh,
Mom?
mine, after supper, I'll show it to Papa.
If you can find my slippers, I
Oh,
can.
here, put away the paper. Put away the paper. Take it up, Uncle David. Don't let Papa see.
All right.
Can't find my slippers.
I'll find them, Papa, darling. I'll find them.
Maybe you'll find them.
I'll see. Maybe they're here someplace, or maybe Sporty took them.
Don't blame Sporty. With 25 children running around the house, don't blame Sporty. A kindergarten I live in.
I'll find the slippers, Davy. I'll find them. Telephone.
My hearing is not affected yet. Hello? Yes? Crosstown News? Yes? Oh, you want a story? Well, what would you like to know? This is Mr. Goldberg, yes. Yes? Well, just a momentary reaction to present-day conditions. I wanted to do my little bit. Yes. I opened my house to all the children. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Certainly. Well, I bring them in the morning and I bring them back in the evening. Yes, I do. I do. Thank you. Thank you. Only my duty. Don't mention it.
I found the slippers, Davy. I found them. The neighbors in the same place as usual. Who was on the telephone? Oh, come in, whoever. Who was on the telephone, Jake, dear?
I want to speak to Mrs. Goldberg.
Oh, well, I'm Mrs. Goldberg.
May I come in?
Oh, please come in.
I am Mr. Goldberg.
How do you do?
Won't you sit down, please?
Thank you. It's just come to my attention.
Thank you.
For what?
Well, it's only my duty.
Your duty is one thing and your good intentions are another. But nothing makes you competent to direct the lives of a house full of children.
Well,
You don't have the training. I have always been interested in nursery schools, and I know that professional help is necessary. What you're doing is worse than letting the children run loose in the streets. Ignorance and a good heart can't bring up children. too much for a woman like you.
Well,
My voice.
I believe it absolutely necessary for these children to be taken care of, but you're not the one.
My voice.
What you should do is to set up a committee and come to people like me for help and direction. Then we can make a survey.
but in the meanwhile...
Meanwhile, I'll see to it that you don't go on with this foolish enterprise if you don't stop it voluntarily. You have to do things in a regular way. And that newspaper article that appeared in the Lastenbury News, now that article was written by someone who knows as little as you do of the problems facing us. The public and the press may be as naive as you are. I presume you were flattered by the article. But a small-town reporter telling you you're a wonderful, capable woman doesn't make you so, and never did make anybody anything. Just remember, Mrs. Goldberg, that this is out of your province, and the safe and wise thing to do is to retire gracefully from it, without making me take drastic steps to safeguard the children from ignorant hands. Good night.
She was perfectly right, Molly. You can't take the world in your own stride. I'll take it. Hello? Yes? This is Mr. Goldberg. Yes? Interview? You have the wrong party. You want Mrs. Goldberg, not Mr. Goldberg.
Molly is running into the red tape now. And Jake is perfectly willing for the red tape to tangle Molly up. But Molly is a great red tape cutter, especially when children are involved. Say, who does dishes at your house? You do? Well, then chances are you've been struggling with those halfway soaps. I mean tough granulated soaps because they fall short on safety for your hands. And I mean bar soaps because they don't have real speed. Well, you can toss such halfway soaps right out because New Does is here. Yes, I mean that wonderful new kind of granulated soap for everything in your wash. And Does has everything for dishes, too. From whirlwind speed to extra safety for your hands. In fact, your hands get far gentler care from Does than from any of the 4 other leading granulated soaps. Just notice how beautifully soft and smooth your hands feel after doing dishes with Does. Yet no soap made can beat Does for quick action on those greasy pots and pans. It cuts even tough grease without hard scouring. Yes, Does has everything for dishes. Just try it today. And let those busy suds tell you how really different Does is. Be sure to listen to the next episode of The Goldbergs, written for you by Gertrude Berg. Molly gets help from her neighbors, but the fight is on tomorrow. This is Clayton Collier wishing you good day for Procter & Gamble, makers of Does, the new kind of granulated soap for all 3 kinds of wash.